Hey Aquarius, so this is going to be a reading for you for the rest of July and part of August. As you saw, I just shuffled the cards, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm actually going to do a different type of reading this time. I'm going to pull a card for all 12 houses. Because we have 12 houses in our birth charts. And so I'm just going to pull a card for each to represent each. And then we will pull the 13th one as an advice to all the things. Okay? So the first house is your rising sign. So that's going to be your house of self. So what is in Aquarius's house of self? What is in the house of self? The World card is in your first house. What is in the second house of home and security? What is in the second house of finances, home, and security? Second house is the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords. So with the second house, having the Knight of Swords, I can read this in two different ways. Either you're, and we'll have to go down the line to get a better idea, but having the Knight of Swords can either mean that you've been spending recklessly, maybe, impulsive, because the Knight of Swords is impulsive. Or this could mean that if you're like a real estate person, you're making that money by being really good at talking and making those deals. So we'll just have to keep going down, but that's how I read it. The World card being in your first house, the house of self, is a huge deal because that's a major arcana that's in your house of self right there. And not just any major arcana, it's the World card. So that means a big shift in your whole entire persona. Like you have almost like you're reinventing yourself. So that's really cool. And there's all 4 fixed signs there. So, okay, now let's look at the third house of communication. Third house, Gemini rules the third house. By the way, the first house is ruled, and this is just going by in the order of the zodiac itself, right? Which houses they rule. Aries rules the first house. And then Taurus rules the second house. So, or I would like to say the houses they live in, but obviously in your personal birth chart, the signs will be in different houses, but yeah. Now we're in Gemini's house, the third house of communication. And yeah, communication, and I think it's like about transportation, about communication. The Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is in your third house. Okay. When I get the Seven of Swords in the third house, I feel like communication, either on your end or other people's end, is very underhanded. Maybe like a lot of dry humor, but played off as sarcasm, but it's actually really a dig. It's almost like just a lot of combative communication, and kind of people just bad mouthing each other. I don't know. An exchange of words that were hurtful, that were not very genuine or authentic. Okay, let's look at the 4th house. Cancer lives in the 4th house. It is the house of home and your childhood. The High Priestess is in your 4th house. Wow, that's the 2nd major arcana. The High Priestess is Pisces. So either you have Pisces in your 4th house, which would make you a Scorpio rising if you have, and you could have a sun in Aquarius and be a Scorpio rising. But yeah, if you have Pisces in your 4th house, you'd be a Scorpio rising. Or this means that your 4th house has a lot of subconscious stuff that's locked away. You could even have Pluto or Neptune there. So, oof. Yeah, but that's a very, like, the 4th house is a big thing. That's your childhood. So let's go further. 5th house of fun and children and dating, but let's just stick to fun. 5th house, and Leo lives in the 5th house. 9 of Pentacles is in the 5th house. So in your 5th house, I think you've been finding more, it looks like you're not really like, this is not a party card, obviously. This is more of a independent woman, independent person that just enjoys their own company and, I don't know, likes to, maybe you find it more, you get more joy out of saving your money up. Maybe spending it on animals, your pets, since I see a bird here, or going on, nature outings, getaways. That is in your house of fun. It's been more grounded. You find more grounding experiences to be fun for you. Okay. Let's look at the 6th house of health and pets, but let's just keep it to health. And Virgo lives in the 6th house. What's in your 6th house? The Fool is in your 6th house. That's Aries, card of Aries. In your 6th, this is actually, I think this is going in line with a Scorpio rising, to be honest. So this, I could even just say this is for all Scorpio risings. I'm pretty sure that this is, wait, no. Scorpio rising would be 5th house. 6th house would be, never mind. I'm just going to stop keeping track of that. Okay. So the Fool, Aries, in your 6th house. This can either tell me that you have reset your diet, or this can also mean that you've been a fool in how you've been dieting. That's super cheesy, but what does that mean? Let's see. I'm going to get one. So I get the King of Cups here too as a clarifier. I just wanted to look. I'm going to put it back, but just to So in a way, I think right now it's your maybe. Oh, okay. This could also speak to maybe health wise, you are starting some kind of new plan, maybe something you found out medically that you needed to get more help on, but it's put you at the zero because the Fool card is zero. Um, so this is like a brand new uncertain thing that's happening right now, especially since I got the King of Cups to kind of clarify what it was. Not what it was, but like what it could pertain to. It Cups is like emotional stuff. So maybe you're seeking some therapy or counseling, and that's something like a new venture you're starting on, because that's also health related as well, your mental health, your mental well-being. So perhaps you're seeking therapy and counseling to improve your mental health. Let's look at the 7th house of relationships. um, Relationships could be for romantic relationships or friendships, but yeah, so that's where Libra lives, in the 7th house. So what's in the 7th house? The 7th house is the 3 of Cups. The 3 of Cups. Three of Cups. It seems that you're focusing on your relationships, your friendships, specifically in your friendships. So yeah, I could get further on it in a second, but I'm getting that you have like a select few of friends. It's not like a big crew of friends. Like you're just kind of enjoying like your closest relationships and bonding with them more. Okay. Let's look at what's in your 8th house. 8th house is debts and other people's money. It's also taboo, secrets, death and rebirth, actually. Scorpio lives in the 8th house. The Emperor. The Emperor. Ooh. Yet another card of Aries. So the Emperor is definitely a authority figure. There could be some debts owed, or maybe this is pertaining to someone of high stature and status that you either owe money to, or let me get another. Oh, I got the Page of Cups. But maybe it's not that. Maybe this Emperor is somewhat of a secret. Maybe they could be an Aries, who knows? But it's someone that has, a good reputation, is well known. It'd be a secret since in the 8th house of secrets. But, it's also in regards to debts and other people's money. So take that as you will. But I did get the Page of Cups, which kind of signals to me of some hidden relationship, maybe. I don't know. Let's go ahead and move on to the 9th house. The 9th house is, traveling, and it's about spiritual ventures, enlightenment, foreign lands, and Sagittarius lives in the 9th house. Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles, the card of hard work. So maybe you are working on saving up your money, actually. Yes, because in your 5th house, you have the 9 of Pentacles. Then in your 9th house, you have the 8 of Pentacles. This is what you're working hard at saving up money for, because you want, maybe you're planning a trip to go abroad. You want to do more traveling. You've got that travel bug. Or you could also be working hard at learning about new spiritual esoteric knowledge, maybe some, more furthering your education. But I'm getting more so saving up for a trip, because if your 5th house of fun has the 9 of Pentacles, which is not really like a fun card, it's not like a fun time card, it's more of like a, practical card to get. That's what I see with that. Let's look at your 10th house. 10th house is your MC, your midheaven, your career, your destined spot. And Capricorn lives in the 10th house. Justice. Justice is in your midheaven. You could have, maybe you could have a future in, the judicial system. That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? But if it's not that, Aquarius, your sign is probably one of the most fair signs out there. Aquarius is all about being fair. Libra is too, but Aquarius is the social justice warrior. That's what they are known for. The sign, the meaning of the sign is finding justice for innocent people and fighting for people who don't have a voice, fighting for those who don't have, who are being manipulated or who are being taken advantage of. Perhaps this is a sign pointing to you that you have great abilities, and your purpose could very well be in helping those that need your help to find the truths, to spread awareness of truth that is fair and not muddied up by the outer world, that is not a part of any hive mind, but of actual legitimate truth that is for the betterment of society as a whole. That's what I get from that. Let's look at the 11th house. What's in the 11th house? The 11th house is the house of Aquarius, actually. 11th house represents, like, what is the 11th house? It's like friendships. It's about your friendships, coworkers, and humanitarian activities. That's mainly the house of friendship and associates and stuff. And the community, that's what it is, the house of community. So Aquarius lives in that house. What's in the 11th? The 11th house is the 7 of rods. So having the 7 of rods in the 11th house, it seems like an undertaking, right? It looks like this guy is kind of pit up against wands, and it looks like he's outnumbered in a way. but he doesn't look like he's being overthrown or taken down. He's still standing. So maybe there's a collective project that you've been putting together. Maybe there's some kind of a project that you're working on to help spread enlightenment and influence in a way to bring people together and unify as a community, maybe. But it's been very difficult because of the, all the other voices and influences out there that kind of drown out and push like you're trying to work against the machine, is what I'm trying to say. That's probably the best way to put it. It's like you're trying to work against the machine. But of course, that's definitely an undertaking, because there's so much more money in the machine. There's so much more resources and ease of spreading the same echoing of a message. So it's hard to get to, put your voice out there that is trying to ring some truth and wake people up at a grounded level. That's what I'm getting from that. But you're still standing. You're not being overthrown by it. Let's look at the last house, which is the 12th house. The 12th house is what you don't see. The 12th house is secrets that are unknown to you. It is all of the unknowns. It's behind the veil. It is essentially where Pisces lives. So Pisces lives in the 10th, or in the 12th. Say 10th, 12th house. The Empress. The Empress is in your 12th house. And this is the house, or this is the card of Taurus. This is the sign of Taurus, the Empress. Also, Taurus is co-ruler over planet Venus with Libra. That's why you see Venus there. Having this card in your 12th house it gives me a feeling that instantly I just feel like there is a mother figure, or a grandma or an ancestor that's watching over you. She's watching over you. Maybe they passed away, but they're watching over you. Having Venus there is it's a very blessed spot to have that energy in, because it's like the protector, the one that gives you love and eases the pain, eases the difficulties. It's amazing. I really get like a mother figure, though, because that's what the Empress is. The Empress is the mother. It is the ultimate mother and nurturer. Wow. All right, so let's get the last card. The last card of advice for this period of time, for the remainder of July and the first half of August for Aquarius. The Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles is the advice. So let's go over this. In your first house, we have the World card. This is the first major arcana that we have. And the World card, I'll even read like a description really quick, just so that it's you can get like a better understanding of what it means. Okay. So the World card is assured success. It's a voyage. It's a route, a change of place, which, I mean, if we're going to look at it symbolically, that is literally meaning that there is a complete change, like you're reinventing yourself. And it represents perfection and end of the cosmos, the secret with which is within it, the rapture of the universe when it understands itself. And it is further the state of the soul in the consciousness of divine vision, reflected from the self-knowing spirit. It has more than one message on the macrocosmic side and is, for example, the state of the restored world when the law of manifestation shall have been carried to the highest degree of natural perfection. But it is perhaps more especially a story of the past, referring to that day when all was declared to be good, when the morning stars sang together and all the sons of God shouted for joy. That's awesome. So really just something about yourself has changed a lot. I'm going to point out just the major arcanas here that I see, and you can always go back and rewind to, look over what I pulled out for each house. But I really want to pinpoint these major arcanas that came out. The second major arcana was in your 4th house, and it was the High Priestess. The High Priestess in your 4th house, where your childhood resides, memories of your childhood, connection to your mother. So, secrets, mystery, the future as yet unrevealed. She has a lunar crescent. Oh no, that's based off of the old one. Where is the... I'm looking for the... So she represents the spiritual bride and mother, the daughter of the stars in the higher garden of Eden. She is in fine the queen of the borrowed light, but this is the light of all. She is the moon nourished by the milk of the supernal mother. So she has been called occult science on the threshold of the sanctuary of Isis, that she is really the secret church, the house which is of God and man. So the High Priestess is basically just a complete mystery. She could, if you are a female, then this could represent you. There are mysteries unknown to yourself. Maybe some things that are locked away that you need to, at some point, resurface, and it could help aid into your future purpose. If you are a male, this could represent your relationship with your mother. So maybe your mother was always a mystery, and you never really understood her, but maybe it was like there's a detached feeling there, because the High Priestess can give off a very detached feeling since they are otherworldly. But there was always a connection there, but just there's things you just don't quite understand about her. And maybe there's some things that you need to dig down deep and kind of face at some point. In your 6th house, we have the Fool, and I already mentioned that I think this really points out to maybe you're getting therapy. That is a whole new venture in itself, and that is exactly like the Fool card, because when you go to therapy or when you're seeking treatment for mental health of any kind, counseling, that could bring up a lot of pains, and it's not easy to go through therapy because you have to face like traumas. You have to dig up like your inner child again, and that can be severely uncomfortable. So it's like you're going on a journey of enlightenment, and yes, you're about to walk off a cliff, but knowing that the universe has your back, that God has your back, He's going to catch you, even though it's going to feel like you're falling off a cliff at times during those moments of trying to go through therapy or whatever. But you get what I'm saying. And then in your 8th house, I got the Emperor. So I was saying this could be like a secret relationship or something, but I don't really know. Like I said, I'm not a fortune teller. I just read the cards, okay? So if it resonates with you, cool. If it doesn't, don't take it. But the Emperor is the authority figure, represents stability, power, protection, realization, a great person, a great aid, reason, conviction, also authority and will. So for this to be in your 8th house, that's pretty badass because that could mean a lot of good things. I don't see anything bad here. If anything, I see that maybe it's someone that's helping you through. If you're going through some difficult financial times, this is the person here that's helping you out, that's there for you, right? It's got your back. And maybe there is a deeper transformative connection with this individual that's in your life. It could either be romantic, it could be friendship, it could be family, whichever applies to your situation. Then in your 10th house, we have the Justice card. So let's go ahead and read that. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but I'll go ahead and read it anyways. So in your 10th house, which by the way, the 10th house represents the father as well, because since Capricorn lives in the 10th house naturally, and Capricorn rules over the planet Saturn, that's like the authority figure as well. And that's like the father. So Justice being here represents equity, rightness, executive, triumph of the deserving side in law, bringing justice to all. And this could be that maybe it's your, well, if I'm gonna try and like predict like different life situations, it could be that you're going through some court situation and you're actually going to be on the receiving end and getting, you're going to win the case, or this could mean that this could mean inheritance as well. Actually, yeah, it could, especially now that I'm looking at the 8th house having the Emperor, which the Emperor also represents the father figure, by the way. And if this is in your 8th house, this is about debts and inheritance. This is about inheritance as well, 8th house. And if this is in your 10th house of justice, that could mean you're getting an inheritance too through the courts. If like a father passed away or any relative, but it speaks more towards male relative, but yeah, inheritance of some kind. So it could mean that as well. But I was also saying that it can refer to just your destined path being more of the, one to stand up for others and seek to bring fairness to all people. And then last but not least, the last major arcana, which was in your 12th house, was the Empress. And I'm also just discovering right now that your 8th house has the Emperor and your 12th house has the Empress. This is a suit. They are a couple. And the 8th house and the 12th house in our natal charts in astrology are connected. They are both esoteric, spiritual houses. Those are the two most spiritual houses in the in the chart. 8th and 12th are linked together. 8th house is death and rebirth, 12th and secrets but known. 12th house is behind the veil, on the other side, secrets unknown, but, you know, also esoteric and occult, right? So, and then it's 8th house is Scorpion, 12th house Pisces. Anyways, this is a suit. They are together. I don't know what that means. Maybe you lost both your parents. Maybe you lost your mother first and then your father, or it could be the other way around. Whoever this resonates with, but that is a very profound story, whoever this resonates for. But yeah, you have the Empress watching over you. A mother figure of some kind. But the advice card at the end is the Four of Pentacles. And what this tells me is just to make sure that you're careful, because you do have, like, be very careful to keep your assets, you know, close to you, and just don't be openly saying like how much you have and all your valuables. Just be very careful, just because the fact that in your 3rd house of communication, and traveling and transportation, like driving, right? You do have the 7 of Swords. So that could point towards, what if you're driving and you're going on a road trip or something? You know, this is not good, because this could be some quarrelsome thing happens or some bad thing happens and you can lose something or get robbed or whatever. I mean, I'm not a fortune teller again, but I mean, I'm just saying, you know, it's always good to be extra cautious. So that's just how I'm connecting the dots here. But other than that, I think regardless, especially if you're getting an inheritance of some kind, it would be wise to, you know, keep quiet about it and not just tell the world that you're inheriting something. And then especially if you're just saving money to go, you know, go on a journey, on a trip, and you want to go abroad or something, you want to make sure you're not going to lose that money. You know, you want to make sure that you're working hard for it, right? So you don't want to just lose it. So just always good to be extra cautious. Anyways, that's what I have for you, Aquarius. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed this different style of reading. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your July and August.